Hello, this is Spidey1958, and welcome to my Let's Play Solasta Crown of the Magister, Episode 1. This is the early access of this, the full game, and I will probably play however many episodes people keep watching. So let's go ahead and do character generation first. That may be all we get through in this initial episode. We will see. So let's go ahead and characters. New character. I think I'm going to create a standard fighter, rogue, wizard, cleric. Now humans are pretty good, but the problem is that light is a big issue for them. I could do half elves. Let's see. Let's look. Dwarves get plus on Constitution and hill dwarves get a plus on Wisdom. Snow dwarves get a plus on Dexterity. Hill dwarves get +1 hit point per level. Okay, and I'm gonna do my usual running all-female party. So let's not do my normal where I run all humans. Let's try some of the other races. So let's make a dwarf fighter. So dwarves. Okay, so next. Oh, the disadvantage of a dwarf low is their moves less than the humans, isn't it? I can go half elf. They get a plus in charisma, but 2 points to others, 1 point to 2 other skills. Apparently there are no additional half elves. We could go elf, which we can go between high elf, which is dex and intelligence, and sylvan elves, which are dex and wisdom. Or we can halflings are another slow mover. Let's go with the slow movement. We'll deal with it and take the extra hit points. So next. So we want them to be a fighter. Pretty straightforward there. They're going to start with chainmail, shield, crossbow, longsword, light crossbow, and a dungeoneer's kit. So if we edit equipment here, looks like chain's the best we can start with. Do we want him to use a longsword, or do we want him to use a battle axe? Let's have him use a battle axe and shield. And in light crossbow we can do 2 hand axes, that's fine. So Dungeoneer's pack has backpack, 10 torches, ration, pouch, potion of healing, and an antitoxin. Explorer has backpack, 5 torches, ration, pouch, and a healing remedy. Let's go with Dungeoneer. And at a higher level, we get to choose one of these, but I don't think we get those until level 3, so that'll be a while. Next, we get to choose one of these. Academic. So if we make them a sales sword, they get military campaign, 10 gold, and commoner's clothing. Proficient in athletics and intimidation. Proficient with medium armor, and they get an additional language. If we go spy, they get noble guard, 25 gold, and a poisoner's kit. Obviously, philosopher, they get medicine and persuasion, an herbalism kit, and 2 additional languages. 25 gold and a crafting starter pack. I'm leaning towards that, possibly. Low life, they get commoner's clothing, thieves' tools, sleight of hand, stealth, and deception. Lawmaker, they get the lawkeeper's badge, 10 gold, and commoner's clothing. Proficient with martial, they already have that. Proficient in perception and intimidation, that might be useful. Proficient in history, persuasion, intimidation, 2 additional language, a signet ring, and more gold. Aqualite gets crafting starting. Proficient in religion, nature, and insight. And academic gets proficient arcane, nature, and insight. So let's see. I think lawmaker or sellsword, or maybe philosopher. Let's do philosopher. Let's make this a philosopher dwarf. So now we have to choose our personality flags: authority, lawfulness. So your flags here are set by your alignment. So let's make them neutral good. So we can choose 2 of these. Let's make them an altruist, pragmatist, and we'll make them kind but cynical. So these are their scores from those. I don't see cynicism there. And these determine for talking what choices you get. So let's, instead of cynicism, let's make them, so that raises that to an 18. So they're formal, altruistic, a pragmatist, and casual. Interesting, they're formal and casual. Next. Ooh, look at those rolls. I think we will use these. 18 strength. Can we get a 20 con? 20 con. Let's do 13 dexterity. 12 wisdom. 10 intelligence, and not the most charismatic dwarf in the world. But they have a lot of hit points. Okay, next. Their basic fighting style. So we could do archery, defense, dueling, but that you have to give up the shield for that. Two-handed, protection, or two-weapon fighting. They're going to be tankety tank, so let's give them defense. They're going to be a real tanky dwarf. 16 hit points at first level. You can't complain about that. Next. Okay, skills. So their class skills, they get 2. The ones with the plus are the ones we can learn. Let's learn perception and survival. Then we get our background languages. Let's have ooh, good question. Let's have them learn Goblin and Orc. Dwarf, talk to their enemies. Okay, next. Oh, I'm not super happy with the models, but it's early access. I assume they'll improve and get more selection. Wow, those are not exactly great choices. I think this looks dwarvish to me. Yeah, that looks like a dwarven hair. Let's make her silver-haired. And let's give her down-to-earth brown eyes. And we need to name her. Let's name her Greta Stone Cutter. Sounds like a good dwarven name, doesn't it? Okay, so there's our first character. That'll be our fighter. Okay, next we need a cleric. So we want people with wisdom. So we could do another hill dwarf. Let's see, they have dex and con. They have dex and charisma. We could do a sylvan cleric. The advantage of them is they'd be able to use long sword, short bow, and long bow. And they'd have a dex. Well, except we need a tanky tank for our cleric as well. Let's go ahead and do another hill dwarf. And of course female. Bing. Cleric. Mace, light crossbow, priest, holy symbol, scale mail, crossbow, and a shield. I'm fine with that equipment. And we can look to see what they get at higher levels. So at second they get channel divinity, fourth they get ability score choice, and eighth they get an ability. I believe early access, the highest level you can go is 6th. When the whole game comes out, the highest level you'll be able to go is 10th. So. Okay, so we get a domain. I assume it will do that next. I'll probably just take the life domain. That's the one that gives you the most healing. But we could also do elemental fire, elemental ice, elemental lightning, sun, battle. Battle would give you martial weapons proficiency. Law. Life. Oblivion. And insight. We want them to be healing, so that's probably what we're going to choose. I assume we get to choose that next. Ooh, we have to choose a god. And what domain we get depends on the gods, I believe. So a rune gets those. That's the god of elements. That makes sense. Battle and law. Moreki gives us life. So I think we will do this one. It's the only god we have for choice of life. So next, we can make them an acolyte. That seems the most useful. So let's make them a neutral good. We'll make them, they're a cleric, they're going to be altruistic and kind. And they're going to be lawful and twice as altruistic. So here they're altruistic 21, kindness of 13, casual of 8, and lawfulness of 8. So they tend to follow the law, but it's not as important as their altruistic nature. So next. Not as good, but good enough. We'll put a 15 here. We'll put a 16 here. Put a 15 here. A 13 here. A 13 here. And 11 here. Do we want to try rolling those again? No, I think we're just going to, unless we get a really horrible thing, I think we're just going to take what we get from the initial roll. Next. Okay, so they get 2 class skills. So we'll take medicine, obviously. Do we want history or persuasion? They're a cleric, they'll need persuasion. They get 1 background language. Let's have them speak giant. Three cantrips and 6 class spells, okay. Cantrips, acid splash, okay, next. And the main spells, understood. So they get 3 class cantrips. Well, I want light. Whoops. So light we can learn. Sacred Flame we want to learn. So we can do Spare the Dying. Let's do Spare the Dying. I think those 3 should be reasonable. Next. And we need to give them a different face. We used that one for the other dwarf. We'll go ahead and use that one. Let's darken just a little bit. That's okay. And let's make their hair gold. I don't really like the gold. We'll make their hair brown. They're a young dwarf. And we need a name. We'll name her Claire Lightbringer. Okay. And then we will create a new one. This will be our rogue. So we'll make the rogue an elf. A Sylvan elf, I think. Or do we want... we'll make him a Sylvan elf. So, oh, and female. Next. Rogue. Next. Let's make them a lowlife. They grew up in the tough side of town, so we'll make them chaotic good. Cynical, egotistical, greedy, but with a touch of kindness. I think that will work. Next. So we'll put that there. Put that there. So we have another 16. I'll put the 8 in charisma, that's for sure. Let's put the 11. Oh, maybe we want to put... because they're going to have them mostly fight with finesse weapons. Let's go ahead and give them a high intelligence. Whoops. No, we'll give them a 13 con. Okay. Fine. You go there. You go there. And you go there. An unusual build, and I may regret it, but I think that will work. So next. We get 4 class spells and 2 expertise. So we already have sleight of hand and stealth. Acrobatics we will give them. Investigation. Insight. And we already got these tools. Survival. So other choices: intimidation, performance, or persuasion. Let's give them persuasion. Now our class expertise. Let's get these tools. And perception. I think that'll work. We don't get any additional languages or anything. So next. I'm not a big fan of their faces. We'll go with that one. Let's go with that. Let's give them long elvish type hair. I like that. Definitely make it golden hair. And blue eye color. And we will name her Rhonda Quickfingers. And we're missing something. What are we missing? Why are we still not able to finish? Oh, I know why. No, that's not it. What's wrong here that we can't finish? Oh, we already have someone using that name. Duh. If I had read. Rochelle. However you would say that. And one last character here, which will probably get us close to wrapping up. So let's go ahead and create our mage. Let's make him a high elf. That'll give him dexterity and intelligence, both of which we want. Next. Wizard. They'll get a quarterstaff, scholar's pack, adventurer's kit, components, and spellbook. That's fine. Next. We could make them academic. Arcane nature and insight. We can make them an aristocrat, which gives them more languages, history, persuasion, and intimidation. Let's go with that. And let's make them neutral good. Or we can make them lawful good. Let's make them lawful good. We will make them an egotist. Lawful. We'll double up on lawful. And authority. That sounds good. Next. And I said I was going to keep those. I guess we will. So we will put that there. That there. Ooh, we have a 6 low. I really don't want that 6. Well, I said I'd take what I rolled and not do re-rolls. We'll do that. So, next. 2 class skills. Arcana. Definitely want that one. And we already have perception, medicine, insight, investigation. Let's do investigation. 1 ancestry language. Let's have her speak Terran. Then we get 2 background. Let's have her speak Ultramarine and Halfling. Okay, next. Cantrips. She gets 1 ancestry cantrip. Some of these I don't know what they do. So acid splash does an acid attack. Chill touch, dancing lights. Ooh, that might be useful. So let's do dancing lights as their ancestry. Then let's do light. Do we want... Let's have them do fire. What's shadow armor do? Shadow armor. Okay, we get 6 base classes. Well, every mage needs magic missile and mage armor. Those 2 every single mage should have. We need identify. Then we get 3 other spells. Let's do sleep, thunder wave, detect magic. I think that's a reasonable selection. I think. Again, I hope to get some more heads. We'll leave her there. We need something very regal. And golden again. Or do we want... Let's go with that. Eyes of blue. And we shall call her... Wendu Boltlobber. And there is our party of 4 people. And we are at the wrapping up point. So as I thought would be the case, our initial setup was going to take that. But now we have all our characters. And next episode we will start adventuring, taking our characters on their great quest. As always, if you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and leave a like or a comment. If you disliked the episode, leaving me a dislike is fine, but please leave a comment saying why you disliked the episode. As always, this is Spidey 1958, and have fun gaming.